Here I am. Hey, what's up? Yes, a little bit of a different angle here, and a little bit of a different angle because I have my huge KingSong F22 Pro box behind me. And yes, I think Sijik mentioned that, yeah, it's not normal to see 2 live streams in 2 weeks, right? But here we are on a Thursday evening. Happy Friday Eve. I apologize, people that were here early. They probably saw the countdown start and then reset. It reset because I needed to go move my laundry from the washing machine to the dryer. So I reset the timer. So actually, the timer was probably going on for more like 7 or 8 minutes. So I do apologize for that. So all right, let's do a quick roll call here. Sijik here. Yes, Montomnek is Sijik. Dale is here. Sound check, by the way. I think my sound's okay, but just verify that for me. UCRI, UCRI, looks like a Spanish re. I'm not sure what re means, but hi, UCRI. Hey, this is cool. So what wheel are you on, Duff? I did reply to him in the chat. I'm not on any wheel right now, but I'm going to be opening up the F22 Pro. Leo is here from Brazil. What's up, Leo? This had, let's see, I posted it on Facebook half an hour ago. I wasn't sure if I was going to do a live tonight, but then I figured I might as well. I actually received this wheel yesterday. It arrived yesterday by UPS from Alien Rides. I've been waiting for this wheel for a very long time. Ordered, I believe, middle of January. Okay. Sijik says 5 or 6. I see why you couldn't have 16. Yeah. Especially this size, right? This size wheel are massive. Leo almost missed this live. No, Leo, you can't do that. Come on, man. You have like a 99.9% attendance rate with my live streams. Rexy World. Hey, Duff. Hey, Dale. What's up, Rexy? Aren't you in Australia, Rexy? I think you've been in live streams before. I may be mistaken. Barrington 76. Am I saying that right? Barrington 76. Hi, Barrington 76. A wheel from the future. Yes, that is what KingSong is labeling the F22 Pro. EUC me, congratulations. Thank you. What you're seeing is probably the only new wheel I will buy in 2025. Although, like most people, seeing the early reviews of the NOSFET Aero are encouraging. It looks like that's going to be a great little wheel. But for the role that the Aero would serve me, I would be fine with the V9 that I already have. So, but no, the Aero seems pretty darn cool to me. Sijik said, your teaser for the unboxing made it look like it went through a war. The box it is. Yeah, multiple people said that. I mean, I guess a lot of things can happen shipping a wheel from China. So, yeah, it is a pretty well worn. I'm glad, and we will unbox this shortly. I think that the F22 uses a similar style to the V13 box, where instead of having to open the top and pull it out the top, I think you can just you open it, and I think the camera's over here, so I have to do my hand gestures over here. I think the front of the box folds down, and you can just kind of slide it out that way much easier, I believe. But we will verify that. Sijik, a channel member, courtesy of Simon, buying gift memberships the last live stream. So yeah, I don't think I've ever said that before, but Chris Sijik, the channel member. Dale says the sound is good. Gavin Cronin, another channel member. What's up, Gavin? Thank you for stopping in. Captain Send It. Hi, Duff and everyone. What's up? Send It. Captain Send It, are you? Captain Send It. You're Tor, right? Tor Allen, is that correct? Captain Send It? Because I believe you're my Facebook friend. And for some reason, I put the two together. I don't know, recently that Captain sent it is actually Tor, I think. UC3 is Irish, translates as king. Really? Okay. My last name is Duffy, so I think I have some Irish in me. I did not know that. Sensei, what's up, Sensei? Good evening, buddy. Leo says, just for the record, when you post future lives, I don't have Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. Yeah, I guess all you have, Leo, is Instagram, right? Because I know you've reached out to me on Instagram. I guess that's all you have. Yeah, I don't usually put lives there, announcements. I could. I mean, there's nothing stopping me, but I don't typically. But maybe I should. Okay, Rexy is Australian. I know the Aussie, oi, oi, oi chant. Sijic says, the Arrow is very interesting, but I won't try to talk too much about it because I don't want to take away from the F22 unboxing. Well, you know my streams. My streams are never rigid. They're not rigid. I'll talk about anything. Because I'll tell you what else I want to talk about is the F18, because I'm very confused, because I thought it was pitched as this is going to be a 200 volt plus wheel, right? And if I saw the specs correctly, it basically has Link's specs. I saw 151 volts and like a 2700 watt hour battery. That's what I saw on the F18. If that's the case, that's way, way different than 200 volts plus. Unless I saw something incorrect, but that's what I saw. So I was very confused by that. Barrington76 says it could be the time to buy a new wheel for some time. Well, because of tariffs, right? I mean, some dealers are already enacting the tariffs, e-wheels being one of them. So if you're waiting for a wheel that's coming from China, I think you're kind of out of luck unless the tariff situation changes drastically in the near future. If you're buying wheels that are in stock, then you should be able to escape the tariffs, unless you're dealing with a greedy dealer. Okay, all right, I am caught up. All right, so good. Let me grab my knife right here, and like I said, this isn't just exclusively F22 Pro talk. It's whatever you want to talk about talks. All right, so let me extend this boom mic. See how the sound is, and let's see if my thesis is correct. Hopefully, it is. It's difficult for me to get a whole lot of the box in frame, but I did the best I could. Okay, it looks like the other side opens, maybe. Okay. Okay, wow, this takes up a lot of room. Okay, we have stuff falling out. Pads. Charging cable. Okay. Alien Rides put this in. Alien Rides has their own little valve stem caps with their logo on it. Metal ones are kind of cool. Just so I can put that on. Alien Rides usually gives you stickers in your wheels. And we got the manual here. I'm trying to do this without it all coming crashing down on me. All right, I'm just going to put the pads over there. What's this? This is probably the... Oh, wow, look at this box. This is the massive 10 amp charger. The first wheel that I know of that has a stock 10 amp charger. Oh boy, here it comes. Am I upside down? I'm not sure. No, okay. Just step into the box. Tip it this way. I think this box is like 129 pounds. That's crazy. Oh, it comes with a seat? Did we know that? Did we know that it came with a seat? If we did, I forgot. Okay. All right. My goal is to get this out of the box and then move the box. Let's see what my deadlift skills are. All right. Oh, God. Okay. Yes, I'm off camera. So we'll come back. Elsa is laying here quietly. Okay, seat. What else we got here? Okay. It includes a 300 psi D&M shock pump. I don't know that I'll use it because, to be quite honest, the shock pump that came with the V9 is really, really nice. I might just use that. So, okay, yeah, so the seat comes pre-lined with Velcro, and there's Velcro on the top already, so it's all ready to go. I don't remember seeing a seat that came with this, but I guess I'm wrong. All right. So, yet another box to take up space in my garage. Hooray. Right. Get this sucker out of here. Okay. Let's see. Let's start the KingSong app because I have a feeling it's going to be in transport mode if I turn it on. God, last time I'm trying to think the last KingSong wheel I owned was the S22, actually. What? Oh, okay. They've definitely updated the KingSong app since I've seen it last. Okay, I'm going to try turning it on. There's a sticker on here that says, warning, for the first time, you must connect the power supply and turn on. Oh, okay, so I have to connect it to the charger to turn it on. Okay. Oh, so that, okay. I guess that takes it out of transport mode. I know that the F22 has its charge ports on the bottom, which is different. I'm sorry. They're on the bottom of the headlight. There's a whole lot of stuff that is dependent on the headlight, which, depending on your point of view, you could say, oh, well, that's convenient. Or it could be a single source of failure point, too, to have all that stuff on the headlight. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that. But let's see if we can get this plugged in to take it out of transport mode. You know, some wheels like I'm trying to think. Yeah, the V9, I took it out of transport mode in the app. I don't remember if KingSong was always one of those deals where you have to plug it into the charger to take it out of transport mode. Let's see. And this charger is huge, man. It's huge. And more than likely, I'll just wind up charging this thing with my my PID Zoom charger. This is in case you don't know, this is a 176 volt wheel. All right, let's move this so you can see it, kind of. Not really. Let's see. Can I tilt the camera down a little bit? Well, for now we can go do it that way. Okay. Let's see, 10 amps. 10 amps is a big draw. And I have a feeling this charger is going to probably be very loud. So let's see what we got here. Nice little rubber covers. A very robust looking charge port. Plugged in. Got a green flashing light on the charger. It just turned on. I'm sure you hear that. Okay. Okay, charger. Huh. Okay, it flashed green, and now it's red, so it's charging. So let's see. It looks like the wheel is more charged than I thought it would be. So let's see. Do I turn it on while it's charging? Let's see. Let's take the charger out. Plugged it in. Let's see what happens. Okay, no, it's still locked. All right, so maybe I have to turn it on, connect the charger. That's my guess. See if it likes that more. There was a little lock on the screen. Now the screen turned off. Okay. What the heck? It still says it's locked. Come on. Why? Don't make me look at the manual. Wait, let me see. Maybe there's some person in the chat that knows what I'm doing wrong. Let's see. Where are we at? I can smell the amps coming from the charger. Yes, I know it's great live streaming when you're reading a manual while you're streaming. All right, I'm going to try to turn it on because the screen went off. Let's see. No, it just shows that it's locked. Blah, blah, blah. All right, we're gonna turn that off. Still shows that it's locked. I doubt that you guys can see this. We have a lock indicator. Let's see. That is a lock indicator. So, can I connect to it with the app? Doubt it. Let's see. Search. Okay, the app sees it. Okay. Okay. Okay, I'm connected to it. Oh, there's a new BIOS or firmware. New for the firmware for the board and the BMS. So we're going to upgrade it. Let's see how that goes. While it's doing that, we can review questions. Cedric says the F18 is very interesting as well. The F22 is as well. Wrong Way was very pleased with the ride feel. Yeah, you may remember that way back when I did the video saying why I decided to buy the F22 was I thought I was getting ahead of the curve. I know that Wrong Way loved it. I know Maribel had some positive things to say about it, and other the few people that did have them, I heard positive feedback. I saw a video, but I don't know the guy's name. Is it Tep Rides? For some reason, like he gets wheels early. I don't know why. I'm not sure if he's buying them or what he's doing. But he tested the F22, and he said a lot of nice things about it, but his big hangup was he thought it wasn't that fast. He was saying that he was having a hard time getting the wheel over 45 miles an hour. Whereas I know Alien Ride said that they had their F22 significantly faster than that. So I'm not sure what the deal is there. And that's not a huge concern of mine either. But yeah. Captain's open that bad boy. Yeah, I just did. You laugh when you heard what? Oh, wrong ways to intro. Yeah, it's correct way, right? I didn't hear the intro though. What's this thing doing here? Okay. Okay, looks like it. Hopefully it finished because it looked like it turned back off. Okay. Let's see. Now I need to get back to the. I haven't been in the KingSong app in a long time. It says the battery's at 84%. Yeah, it's just totally different. Firmware. My firmware's up to date. Okay. All right. So it did finish the main firmware. Now I'm going to do the BMS. Lay the vehicle flat on the ground. Flat on the ground. Okay. Does it need to be flat on the ground? Is it like this before? It had to be flat? All right. I mean, it started the update before I laid it flat on the ground. Whatever. Seems to be going quickly. If you haven't seen what the camera doesn't pick that up. Okay, there's no more indicator on the wheel that anything's happening, but the app is saying that we are progressing. We are at 94, 5, 5, 6, 7, 8, 99%. And it started again. We're going, okay. We are circling through again. Interesting. Hopefully this is fine. Hopefully. But I shall take a couple sips. If it starts to circle again, I'm going to be concerned. %. Maybe. Okay, finished. Maybe it's doing both. There's probably two, right, for each battery pack. So maybe it's just doing both of them. It just didn't do a good job of indicating that. Before it said my battery was 84%. Now it says it's 91%. And the wheel is, I don't know, it says it's on. Okay. But it's still locked. It's still not. Still freaking locked. You must connect the power supply and turn on. All right. Then release transport mode, activate the battery. Okay. All right, so if I'm reading the sticker right, I need to connect it. Okay, I'm going to turn it off. So it's interesting that I can upgrade the firmware with it being locked, right? Okay, lights on. Great. All right. Okay. All right, we're going to do what it says. We're going to connect the charger. Maybe you have to connect the charger and then disconnect transport mode in the app. No, we're discovering together, I guess. Another cool feature in this that I will dig into is this does have built-in Apple Find My, which is kind of cool. The V9 has its own proprietary cellular modem that allows you to track the V9, but the Find My feature on the F22 is great. I mean, because I use Find My already for my wallet and other things, so to have that in my wheel be very, very convenient. Okay, oh, that's right. They do a field weakening on this now too, right? All right. Well, how do you take it out of transport mode, MFer? Let's see. No indicator there. No, I don't want to power it off. Ah, confirm unlock. I got it. Okay. Okay. Okay, it looks better. Now I think it might balance. 91% battery. There we go. Yes. It's balancing. It's balancing. Oh, there's a sticker on here. You know how Marty has like a seizure if you leave stickers on wheels. So I'm just going to leave it on there. All right. Now, you have an option with this where you can get, it's weird that it's either or. You either get a model that has PC speakers back here, or RGB lights. I chose RGB lights because I don't typically really listen to music when I'm riding. So I have the RGB light version. It's weird that you couldn't have both and you had to pick. But yeah, there we go. It lives. It's out of transport mode. So basically, you need to plug it in, turn it on, and then in the app, in the top left corner, there's a little lock. And just hit that, and then that's how you take it out of transport mode. I'm curious with the Find My, how quickly I can do this. Find My. Okay, power. Yep. All right, I'm going to just see on my phone if I can find my. Okay, let's add an item. Add another item. Searching. I may have to turn it on in the app. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Okay, there's a power on under Find My. So let's see. Let's see what we see now. Okay, I found it. A KS unicycle with a bike icon connect. We're going to call it Duff's F22. Let's see, what icon should we select for this? Oh, that's fine. Okay. All right, it is now in my Find My list of devices on my iPhone. That's easy enough. Very cool. And at some point, I will read this manual, of course, but not right now. All right, so we are now unlocked. We have a lot of battery, and we have it linked to Find My, and it is up and balancing. Cedric says 10 amp charging alone is something to be excited about. Yeah, and again, the TEP guy, I think it's TEP. He was kind of saying it was a negative because, and depending on where you're charging it, 10 amps could be enough to blow a circuit breaker, which it could be. Most household circuits, at least in the U.S., are a minimum of 15 amps, at least in my house, in my old house. So, but yeah, 10 amps is nice, right? Unless you have a variable rate fast charger like I do, you can set it to whatever you want. But 10 amps as a stock charger is pretty darn nice. The Bloom's rule. You like 3D printing? This is the coolest thing I've ever printed. If you're showing me something, Bloom's rule, I can't see it because I don't think you can post stuff like that in a live stream chat, as far as I know. Dale says, I remember they used to be very conservative with how powerful their chargers were. Yeah, KingSong was like, 2 amps, right? Or even 1.5. Yeah, you're right. They even asked me if I thought a 16X should have a 1.5 amp or 2.5 amp. I told them 2.5, but they still went with 1.5 amp. Yeah, because a 16X, what's a battery in a 16X? Was it 1,400 amp hours? Or was it 900 or something? I don't know. I don't quite remember, Dale. Dale wishing people happy Easter. Yeah. Yeah, I had this revelation yesterday, actually. I'm like, oh, yeah, I mean, Easter should be coming up, right? And I look at the calendar, and it's Sunday. I'm like, shit, Easter's this Sunday. Wow. Now, in my life, in my situation, Easter is kind of a non-event, right? I don't have family down here or anything. It used to be like with Cindy, her family was here. But yeah, Easter's never been a big deal for me. I'm not religious. But yeah, it is almost here. And I was talking to work with someone, like, I don't know the rule, like, because Easter, the date for Easter always changes year to year. It's always different. It's always on a Sunday. But I don't know what the rule is that dictates exactly when Easter falls each year. I have no idea. I never cared enough to find out. Maybe somebody out there knows. Yeah, Good Friday. That's right. Yeah, some of the government complex is off tomorrow. We are not. I am working tomorrow. You see you'll break your back lifting that thing? Nah, I'm okay. It's heavy though. And I've heard people complain about it being wide. Let me see. Does it look wider than normal? I would say it looks, yeah, it looks almost as wide as, why did that happen? It looks almost as wide as like a Master Pro. Yeah. I guess one of the advantages of that is you could put a bigger 90/90 tire on this if you wanted to. But yeah, it does look pretty wide. Now for me, with me being tall, and that light on? Yeah, that's annoying, right? Let's stop that. That's the high, that's the low, and this should turn it back off. Okay. For me, being tall and kind of being bow-legged, I don't think the width is going to be a problem for me. But for like a shorter rider, I can see why that would be a problem. You probably feel like you're riding a horse, I guess. So. Luis is bald. Are you? You're bald, Luis? Luis is bald as a channel member. Oh, you must have gotten one of the gifted memberships last live stream, Luis. Welcome. Welcome. Oh. You're going to put that in camera view. Yes, I just did. I don't know what the best angle is to put it, though. I'm not really sure. Like right now, it just looks like a big black monster on the camera. Yeah, the low resolution digital display that KingSong has used on the S22, on the S16, I think on the 19, and now they carried it through to the F22 Pro. I mean, it's big, so it's visible, but I just don't like that it's not that detailed as far as what you can show on there because it's so big and low resolution. It'd be great if it was like customizable. What you can show in there, but as far as I know, it is not. Take off the vinyl sticker. What does that say? I'm trying to read what that battery percentage is. Is that 90? Okay, it's 93, I guess. See, it's weird. Like there's not spacing between the two digits. So when you have bigger numbers, they kind of run together. Like if you looked at that quickly, you might think it says 98%, but I'm almost sure it says 93. Here you can see the RGB lights in the back. Again, on the camera, I don't know how well this will show up. But they are very pretty, as you can tell if you look around the room. You can't really see it right now because I'm pointing down, but I do like RGB lighting. I do have it throughout this room. Wheelie Brady F22 sounds badass. Does it feel thick? Well, Brady, if you can see it, it does look thick. I mean, without having a wheel next to it. Let's see. I do have other wheels, right? Let me bring in. Let's see. The Patent is considered a big wheel. I'll bring in my Patent and my V13, and we can do a side by side. I don't know how. Let's see. Yeah, because the Patent or the V13 has the Clark system on it, so I don't know how easy it'll be to compare with naked. Let's see. The F22 definitely looks fatter than the V13. Eyeballing it. And of course, you can't see. Damn it. All right. I need a wide. Wait. Okay, I'm back. The long Ethernet cord that I use to connect my PC along the wall into the closet to my cable modem, the one end does not have a good connector on it. And if it takes a shot, it can knock it loose. And when I bumped into the shelves, it knocked it loose and knocked me offline. I'm back. I don't know how long. Let's see. Duff, you're frozen. When was that? When was that message? Okay. Okay. Well, okay. 7. Okay. So I don't think it was hung up that long, but all right. So that's what happened. But I'm back. All right. So let me get back to where I was. Where was I? How many live unboxing videos have been made? What do you mean? Of the F22? I don't know. Has there been other ones? I haven't seen any unboxings on the F22. Maybe there have. Brady really enjoys the charging sound. I don't sense any sarcasm there at all. Pinoy Triathlon looks heavy. Well, it is 100 pounds plus, 105. I mean, it's everything. It's every bit as heavy as an ET Max. It's heavy. Dale loves his Leaper Kim charger. First minute it's noisy as F, but it chills out. Yeah. So yeah, did you guys even notice that I brought in my V13? Okay. I guess I could be scientific about this. I do have a measuring tape right here. I should utilize it, right? All right. So let's see if we can measure the width. It's kind of an eyeball. Let me see. looks like just under 8 inches right there. Okay, so it looks like the F22 is approximately 1 inch wider than a V13. It's about 9 inches, according to my eyeballing. So yeah, it is a wide wheel. Okay. Oh, okay. So these are from a little while ago. They're about. Yeah, these are comments from 20 minutes ago. PJ Wares, what's up, buddy? Barrington says Wrong Way was so enthusiastic about the F22 that he turned to bicycles and scooters instead. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't really checked. I'm not quite sure how that's working out for him. My UC Journey is here. Hi, buddy. Delroy McEwen, I just started up mine. You need to let it run through the updates. It will update like 4 times, and you'll be able to unlock it. Okay. I think I am totally updated now. Let me just go back into the KingSong app and make sure that make sure that it doesn't think I need any more updates. Let's see. Firmware update. Firmware's up to date. Oh, what? Oh, another update for the BMS? Shit. I just did this. Okay. So is it going to want me to set it down? All right, let me move the V13 out of here. Get out of the way. My big monster wheels in my relatively small office. All right, so to do this, it's going to want me to set it down on its side again, probably. Right? Okay. Do that. And we will. Oh, look, I just got a Telegram message from Jasmine Turner. I have no idea who this is. She wants to have a quick chat with me. All right, let's update. I don't know if this is a, I don't know. Or do I have to do this 4 times? Are there actually 4 packs? Maybe there's actually 4 packs and I have to do this 4 times. According to Delroy. Yeah, okay, he said we'll update like 4 times. All right. Well, I was able to unlock it without doing those updates, but yeah, we want to get fully updated. PJ, not used to starting live streams this early. On vacation this whole week. Been riding the wheels off the V10F. Great, PJ. Yeah, this is a last minute thing. It's not a carefully planned out and formalized live stream, really. Yeah, it looks like that's what it's doing. It is going to. So there must be 4 BMSs in total. 4, which makes sense. So you got to do this BMS update 4 times. EUC me, it's a hell of a voltage tag for just sitting there. Yeah. Wildest EUC in the market. I mean, to me, I've talked about this before. The things that appealed to me about this and that made it unique, because there are so many good wheels, right in that Lynx category. There's a lot of good wheels. But this is the highest voltage wheel out there. I thought it was going to be the F18, but evidently not. This is 176 volts. It has a unique to the EUC space suspension on all 4 corners. Although I think the F18 has the same thing from what I saw. I think it does. Okay, just finish those updates. Let's see. What? It looks like there's more updates. Okay, no. All right, it says my firmware's up to date. All right, no, I'm good. Okay, I'm finally good. I'm all updated. So let's bring it back up right again. Okay, let's set it here and let you look at the beautiful RGB lights without disconnecting my internet this time. I think we're good. Yep, we're still got signal. Okay, perfect. Sidgwick, how sturdy do the handles feel compared to your patent? They're sturdy. One thing I've seen people complain about, yeah, I mean the metal handles are sturdy, yeah. But the thing that's weird about it is you have these metal handles, but then there's a plastic handle right behind here. And yeah, with no gloves on, I can get in there and I can lift it, no problem. But if you had gloves on, people complain that with gloves on, it would be very difficult to get under here because of the dual handle situation. Without gloves, no problem. With gloves, it's a problem, and it seems like some sort of oversight, like almost like these were put in last minute because it doesn't make sense that you have these handles and then a plastic handle right over the tail light. That is weird. Admittedly, that is weird. But anyways, yeah, like I said, 176 volts, decent sized battery, 3100 watt hour battery, 50 S cells, and the 4-post suspension, which is it's a combination of like hydraulic shocks that are used for dampening and rebound, along with D&M air shocks on the opposite corners. You know, they're staggered, so it's unique. And the Find My technology built into the wheel, again, that's something new. So I thought there was a lot of different things in a very crowded wheel space. I thought the F22 had a number of things that were unique. So that's what appealed to me. I did not know it would be so hard to get it here or take so long. Storyboard and games. KingSong heard we like handles, so they put another handle next to the other handle. Yeah, that is a bit of an oversight, if you ask me. Barrington says, I just asked Gemini, what is the time right now in Florida? I said 8 p.m. No, it is not. Yeah, interesting. I said it's April 15th, 8 p.m. No, it's actually April 17th. And it is 7:18 p.m. actually, right now. Okay, the 16X was 1,500 watt hours. Okay, yeah, that is right now you said that. Barrington, Easter is always the same day? What? Well, it's always Sunday, but it's sometimes it can be early in April. Sometimes, like this year, it's probably about as late as it can be. It's late in April, so I don't know. T. Roland likes the wider cycles. Who wants to ride with their feet pressed together? S22 is a little wider also. Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, I haven't ridden this yet, but I mean, I've ridden wheels. I mean, the V13 is pretty wide. I am surprised that the F22 is actually an inch wider than the V13. But once I do a ride, we will see if that's significant or not. Blue Collar Jose, how many EUCs do you own now? With this one, let's see, 1, 2. I have the F22. I have the V13. It's just so weird with the camera being over there. F22, V13, Patton, V9, E20, V8S, and the M103. So that would be 7. I currently have 7 wheels, which is kind of high for me, but a lot of those are small wheels. Siri. Easter is the first Sunday after the full moon. What? Is that true? I have a negative relationship with the full moon. So no, I didn't know that. Okay, Leo says, life-changing fact. Christian Easter is on the first Sunday after the first full moon of the first spring equinox. Totally useless information. Really? Why did they decide to include a full moon as part of when Easter is? That's weird to me. Interesting. Okay. People saying I'm frozen. Yes. Cutting out because, yeah, I know. Stuff is doing this for anticipation factor. No, unfortunately not. Feed keeps cutting out when you're over by the cabinet. Yeah, I'm being very gentle now. Okay. Talking about Easter. Captain Send It. Don't forget to give Duff a like on the live stream. Yeah, I do have it posted in the comments. Likes are always helpful and free in the live stream. Stan, will this channel be the first to test the top speed of the F22? There's been other reviews, I think, where they've tried to approach it. I'm trying to think. Let me see. I'm curious what eWheel says that the top speed of the F22 is. Let me see what they say. eWheels, who was not carrying the F22 initially, but they are now. Let's see. What is? Oh, no. Okay. All right, I'm going to see the specs here. Yeah, I mean, on eWheels, and I can share this. Share the entire screen. Let's share this screen. Share it and make me small. Oops, no, like that. On eWheels, it says a cruising speed of 60 miles an hour plus, whereas Tep was saying he could only get to 45. So I don't know. Am I going to go to 60? No. No, the fastest I ever gone on a wheel is just a hair under 50. I don't remember. Was that the ET Max? I don't know. I have to go back and look. But yeah, I've never cruised in the 50s, and I don't really have a desire to. So no, I won't be a good candidate to test the top speed of F22. I'll take it up to speed, but speed is comfortable for me. But I find this interesting that eWheels is listing the speed as 60 miles an hour plus, but this Tep guy was saying, no, man, I couldn't get over 45. So I don't know. I'm not sure what's up with that. I wonder if he had it in, because you can set field weakening on this. I wonder if he had the field weakening set all the way up on his. I don't know. Larry's here on our promo. Congrats on the new wheel. Thank you, buddy. Larry has his order in for a MOSFET Aero. He's not quite sure when he's going to get it. Dale says, Stan, nope, Duff's not a fast rider. Well, like I said, 50 is my fastest, but since I have to be quite honest, after my accident in October, going fast on an EUC is not a priority for me at all. Not at all. No, I just answered that question, Ree. Yeah, it's just about 50, but it's only for a brief period of time. Like there's a greenway behind me. It's just like a paved bike path, and there's some straight sections there. So it's sometimes I can get there and there's not a lot of people, because obviously I'm not going to be going 50 miles an hour on a bike path if there's anyone around. So I have to kind of wait for a gap in people, and then I will do my runs. But we will see. We will see what I feel like doing on the F22. Yeah, on the eWheel side, it says range of 100 miles. No, I doubt that. I mean, unless you go really slow. I guess I'll try to do a range test on this. I would expect to get 3,100 watt-hour battery. Of course, it's a 176 volt wheel. I don't know. 50 to 60 miles would be my initial guess. That's my guess. If I'm cruising like, around 30 for a good portion of the range test. What did Blue Collar Jose do here? What did you do, Blue Collar Jose? Oh, just okay. I think it's a perk when you're a member. It lets you do like one highlight comment, because like a lot of times if you do super chat, it'll highlight the comment like that. But I think when you're a member, it lets you do that as I don't know if it's one or two, as another perk of being a channel member. That's cool. Yeah, Jose says, I might have outgrown my V9 already. Really? Well, that happens. But then your V9 can be kept to share with others, teach other people how to ride. that the Stam V22 is visibly thicker than the V13. Are there advantages or disadvantages in being thick? Well, I think it really depends on the person. Like I said earlier, for me, I'm tall. I have very long legs, and my legs are naturally bow-legged, so I don't think it's going to be an issue for me. But I could see like a short rider, like Maribel. I would imagine like a short woman like that would probably have a difficult time riding a wheel like this. Dawn, I would imagine, would definitely notice the thickness as well. So yeah, I think it all depends, Dan. As far as how that translates to how the wheel feels when it's out in the road, you're going to have to wait and see till I get out there and ride it, which I'm planning to get some time to do that this weekend. That will be one of my things on the agenda. Although I also need to finish my fence repair. I do need to do that. Oh, don't you turn off. Well, I guess you can turn off. It's fine. I'll turn you off. You're not doing any good sitting there. Okay, sitting on his kickstand. Yeah, that is a wide boy. It really reminds me, like I rode Marty's Master Pro, and it does kind of remind me of the Master Pro as far as its width, which should feel like a wide wheel. Although this is not as heavy as a Master Pro. Barton, is it possible that you would shift live to a smartphone and take us to the first ride? I'm not going to ride it tonight, Barton. I'm not dressed. I don't want to get geared up. And doing a live from a phone is very signal dependent. It can be kind of glitchy and wind noisy and not great. When I go on my first ride, I will video it. But I will have a good mic, a good camera, so you guys can actually see what's going on. But doing a live riding, I think, is not ideal. Oh, Simon's here. Hey, what's up, Simon? I was talking earlier about your generosity with the gifted subs. I see some people that you gifted subs to that haven't seen the live streams before. They were in here earlier. Stan, you beat the tariff rush. That F22 will be 10 grand very soon. Well, hold on one second. Hold on. The F22 originally was supposed to be like $34.99, $3,500, and now since the tariffs, eWheels has changed the price to $4 grand, $39.99. So they raised it about $500. Alien Rides, I think they bought the ones that they just got, their shipment that they just got before the tariffs were announced. So I think their price was probably locked in. Let me see if they've changed the price on their site. Yeah, see, they're still holding at the $34.99 price for Alien Rides. So, unfortunately, like if you want to buy a wheel that isn't here yet, that hasn't gotten on the boat from China, you're going to probably be paying those tariffs, which sucks. So yeah, I do feel lucky to avoid that, and I think I mentioned earlier, Alien Rides has done me a favor too with the pricing, so I am thankful to them. Curtis, 1 inch wider. People talked about it, sounded as if it was 3 inches. Well, it depends what you're comparing to. I'm curious. I'm going to quick measure my patent. Hold on. Alexa, turn on kitchen. Okay, my original veteran patent is also 8 inches wide. So my veteran patent is approximately the same width as the V13. So the F22 Pro is an inch wider than that. All right, let's move this back over here so you can see it better and get away from the freaking cable so I don't knock it out. All right. The sides are fully Velcroed, which is nice. The top has the Velcro already in place for the seat, which is nice. You know, cut to shape Velcro already applied. It's nice to not have to worry about that. And the pads that come with it, they're small. They're small. They feel pretty firm, but I don't know. We'll see. You know, like pads, especially with a bigger wheel. You know, the pads I think play more of a role with the V9. I don't care that it doesn't have pads. So I keep getting text messages though. Let's see. Hold on. So yeah, I mean the quality of the wheel seems good. Like I said, I question having all this stuff integrated into the headlight. I guess let's see if it crashed. Let's see. I guess the front handlebars would take the impact. Yeah, I guess they would. If it was a really bad crash, though, I can see these getting bent back and the headlight taking a shot, so that would not be great. But let's see what's the rebound feel like here on the shocks. Yeah, feels like it has no air in the air shocks. A really nice mud guard and a nice kickstand. I mean, everything looks very well put together. Looks high quality. The quality looks significantly better than my S22 when I got it. Looks like a more mature wheel to me. Isn't I-5 capped at 90 kilometers an hour? I-5? What's an I-5? I don't know. Hold on. See, I don't know if should I turn on the light in here. I don't know. I don't know if I need a light or not. I'm not sure. The camera is kind of adjusting for the light, it looks like. I think we're okay. PJ says highest speed so far on his V10F is 27.3. According to, okay, well you're pushing it because I think the posted top speed on a V10F is 20. I don't even know that it's out. It might be 28. I think it's 28. Yeah, going down to 27.3 will hurt. Yeah. I hope you're wearing gear, PJ. I would advise you to wear gear. Dale, yeah, I think I remember you saying, Dale, the fastest you've gone is 45. Before my accident, I was cruising 35 plus, 35 to 40 on a pretty regular basis. Since the accident, it's more like 30 maybe, or upper 20s, I would say. Maybe I've heard multiple people say that this feels very stable at speed, which I would expect because it's heavy, right? Usually heavy wheels are pretty stable at speed. This has a knobby tire. I'm not sure. I'll see how it is. I do have two street tires sitting in my garage. I have a Pilot Street 2 or Pilot Street 2, and which was on the Master. Took off, and I also have the TNT street tire that comes on the Sherman L. So I do have those two street tires available to me. I guess I will try it. I will try what it came with, and then I can put a street tire on it if I want. It'd be another fun video, tire change video on a KingSong F22. Yeah. All right. Barrington, I didn't know you were in Poland. He's going to sleep. Okay. Yeah, watch the rest on playback. That's a good idea. Justin Dick, that's a nice name. I have also definitely outgrown my V9 already. Really? So what? You're hitting the speed cap? It was the V9 your first wheel, Justin? Because it used to be like starter wheels, like the speed cap used to be more like 20 or low 20s. So I mean 28 miles an hour is I think the fastest I've gone on my V9 is maybe 22, 23, and that's fine for me. But I mean, even if you've outgrown it, like when you get other wheels, they won't be as portable and fun or as convenient as a V9 is. So to me, it always will serve a purpose. I mean, it's great to have a wheel you can lift with one arm and throw it in the back of your trunk like nothing. A wheel to run to the store in an errand. I think the V9 is really, really a nice low-cost option. To me, the V9, for what it costs, might be the most value-filled wheel on the market, in my opinion, for what it gives you. I know I keep doing this, but I do have a real life too. I do. Any further news on Dawn? I spoke to Dawn today. She's those of you who don't know, she's home. She's home. She's getting like physical therapy for injuries. She's going to require further work, surgery to like repair some of her other injuries, like her shoulder. Her one shoulder is really, really messed up, and her other one isn't great either. So she's going to have a long road ahead of her. Dawn's very determined and all that kind of stuff, but I think she's going to have to be patient, which is not something that she's real good at. She just wants to, be better, and it's not. Her injuries are not the kind of thing that just get better in a week. So hopefully Dawn will start putting some content out there of her own. I don't know. I didn't talk to her about that, but she's home, and she's functioning, and she's alive, and she actually went to. Was it last weekend, the Electrify Expo? Evidently, she was there. I saw a picture of her with Zen Lee, so she was there. So that's good. But yeah, she has a pretty big hill in front of her, but I'm sure she'll get to the other side of it. Sterling eWheels pays $2,200 for each Sherman L, so add 74% new tariffs as of last week. That's an easy extra $1,628 on eWheels cost. Sterling, so how do you know what they pay for a Sherman L? Because if that's true, well, let's just take tariffs out of the picture, because before tariffs, they were selling Sherman L's for what, $4,500. So you're saying that they have 100% markup on those wheels? Not bad. Yeah. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, Dawn's she's on the road to recovery, but I think it's going to be a pretty long road. And yeah, maybe Sterling can tell me how he knows the exact cost that eWheels pays on Sherman L's. If it makes anybody in the U.S. feel any better, in Brazil, pre-launch price is $5,000 on what wheel? The F22. It's pretty expensive. Dale, would you still have to pay the high tariffs if you bought it from another country without the tariffs? What, like if you bought a Begode wheel from, I don't know, yeah, another country? Probably not. Like if you bought from a dealer in another country, probably not. But I'm not a tariff expert. Oh, okay, Dale, clarifying the i5 is supposed to be it5. Oh, being capped at 90 kilometers an hour. Well, the default, I'm sure the default speed limits, like the speed limits are pretty conservative. Again, if they were not adjusted correctly, because, turn the wheel back on. Let's turn it back on. Because in addition to having the field weakening, you have the pedal settings on here. I always like to ride hard mode. A lot of people nowadays seem to like softer pedals, but I've always, since I've learned my 9x1E Plus, I've always had hard mode enabled, and I've just stuck with it because that's what I know. All right, let's see. Where do you set the speed limits? Oh, you know what? I think this has KingSong wheels. They usually have like a. What are you doing? Oh, okay. They usually have a like a time or a distance that you have to travel before you can unlock higher speeds. I don't know if the F22 has that. It probably does. Speed setting. Yeah. Okay. You're presented with a a screen of warnings if you want to do speed unlock. I just accepted them. First level alarm is 65 kilometers an hour. So second alarm 66. Okay, I think. Oh wow, you can set PWM too. By default, it's at 60%. I'm going to set it to 80. 60 is pretty conservative. I'm going to go, all right, 79, that's fine. But okay, I can turn off. Interesting. So I just turned off the first and second level alarm. The third level alarm, the highest speed I can set it to is 67 kilometers an hour currently. And I have a feeling it's because I have not hit that whatever. Okay, it says right here in fine print in the bottom, the current vehicle mileage does not reach the set value of 10 kilometers. The adjustable speed is limited to 2/3 of the maximum speed and can be adjusted to the maximum speed after reaching the set value. So I have to put 10 kilometers on this before I can up the speed limit. Okay, that's fine. I mean, that's the way it was with the other wheels too. So it's a bit of an inconvenience, but not a big deal. Speaking of gear, do you still offer a discount code for those touchscreen capable gloves you reviewed a few years ago? My Nobleman gloves. I believe my discount code for that is still good. I mean, you can check it. If you look in most of my, I'm just looking. Yeah, if you use the code DUF, lowercase DUF, you're supposed to get 5% off at noblemantech.com. It's in the description of almost all my videos. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see it. So you can try it. I haven't tried it lately, but I know it did work. I don't know if it still is. Sijic would say take the Aero over the V9 any day as long as it's durable as a Libra Chem wheel. Yeah, but you're a different use case, Sijic. The Aero does seem cool though, right? I mean, it looks really cool. The suspension evidently feels good. Better performance than a V9 with 126 volts. I know they said it had great torque. They took it. I'm talking about the EVs videos, the one I saw. They took it to the jump park. Had very, very positive things to say about it. So. But I mean, I think you have to factor in cost, right? Like if you currently wanted to get an Aero from eWheels, it's $2,200. Okay, if you buy a V9, it's $1,300. So to some people, $900 is insignificant. To some people, it's very significant. So you have to factor that in as well. If they were the same price, then oh my God, yeah, of course, it's a no-brainer. But the Aero does not have speakers. The Aero does not have tracking built into it. The trolley handle on the Aero is interesting. What they came up with for a solution for a trolley handle, it's interesting. So yeah, it seems like it's gonna be a really good wheel. I think that the early videos are gonna get people excited about it. UC I just made a mug of coffee on my Master V4 riding. How did you make coffee on your Master V4? 13 miles on the Master, 980 miles on my V11. Practice. Nice. I like my Master V4 until I crashed into traffic with it. Devo's here. What's up, everyone? What's up, Devo? Thanks for coming in. Sterling, in regards to what eWheels pays for a Sherman L, that's what another dealer told me last week. I didn't expect that high of a profit margin. Yeah, it's pretty high, right? And of course, now, I mean, this we don't know that this is true, but if that is true, that is, 100% profit margin is pretty good. We have talked before that there's a lot of potential for additional costs down the road when you're a dealer, when you're offering service, when you're warranting parts, when you're doing work for people, and in some cases covering the shipping. There are a lot of potential expenses, but still, that's a very healthy profit margin if that is true. Everyone's saying hi to Devo, man. Nice. Oh, Leo, Dale said this at the last live stream, right, Dale? That Begode was supposed to transfer production, or at least part of it, to Malaysia to avoid tariffs. That's interesting. That sounds like something that would take a lot of effort and time, doesn't it, Leo? To just spin up another manufacturing facility in another country. Maybe not, but it seems like it would be. But that's interesting. That's an interesting way to stay competitive. Devo says the Extreme Bull Max and Extreme Bull Rocket are going to be my next wheels. Second or third batch, of course. And I need to save up some money. Yeah, the Rocket, when Marty was in the last live stream, I talked about how the Rocket doesn't appeal to me, but I know that there's a subset of riders that would appeal to me. I don't have a desire to go that fast on is it a 14-inch wheel? Or is it 15? I don't know. It's small. It's a small wheel. It has a 168 volt power system, so it's a powerful wheel. I don't want to go that fast on a small wheel, but there are clearly people that do. Dale, we'll see. Dale's an old time rider. I think a lot of people that have been riding for a very long time are just like hard mode riders, or at least it seems that way to me. Although there are a lot of riders in New York, because I remember the first time I heard about people liking soft mode was the New York City riders. A lot of them like to ride in soft mode. And if you've never ridden in soft mode, I've done it briefly. If you've never ridden in soft mode, it's almost like the wheels on springs. It's just there's a whole lot of back and forth movement or up and down movement with the pedals, and I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm skipping ahead a little bit here, trying to get caught up. PJ, I know it's none of my business, but this whole Dawn thing seems to have sparked tension between Roger and Alan. Does anyone know what that's all about? Oh, I do. I do know what it's all about. It's not something that I want to talk about on the live stream, but that is accurate, PJ. There's a whole backstory to everything. That is, kind of crazy. Okay, I'm going to get another Cayman Jack. I'll be back in, I don't know, 60 seconds. That wasn't bad, right? I'm back already. Okay. Back already. So I don't. Where did you see that, PJ? I'm curious where you saw that tension. I guess there were some public facing spots where that was evident. I guess. I've kind of tuned out of the whole thing because it's kind of crazy. Wheels turning off. It's okay. Go ahead. There she goes. Leo says, to avoid tariffs, a certificate of origin stating that the goods were produced in a country that is not affected by such tariffs. It varies, but it's around 60% of local production. Okay. Thank you for the clarification, Leo. That cost for e-wheels, Sterling says he doesn't think it includes cargo shipping from China, just per unit cost. Okay, gotcha. Cargo shipping for a long time was prohibitively expensive. I know that it's gotten better. I don't know how much better. I know it's better than what it was like around COVID. It was crazy. And I just spilled some Cayman Jack on myself. Insomniac says, I hear a lot of people wanting to compare the Rocket to the Arrow. But isn't the point of having a small wheel is to be lightweight pocket rocket? The Rocket seems to be just above that point. Yeah, I don't. Just because they're both small wheels, I don't think the Rocket and the Arrow are comparable, really. And I think the Rocket, isn't that like $2,600 or $2,700, or maybe even $2,800? I don't know. The Rocket is even more expensive. So I don't know. Doesn't the Rocket weigh? I thought I saw like 68 pounds or something like that. Because I believe the Arrow is 55 pounds. So it's 5 pounds heavier than a V9, but it's still very, very light in today's EUC world. Leo says, as far as I know, the only place cheaper than China for production is Vietnam. Yeah, but Vietnam doesn't make a lot of electronic stuff, do they? I thought they were more into like textiles and that kind of stuff. And Dale says, I like hard mode because I wanted to do exactly what I tell it to when I tell it to. No delays. Yeah. Like I like it. Almost feels like a table, basically. Yeah. I don't really want to feel dipping when I'm riding. But again, it might just be because that's the way that I've always ridden. Doesn't mean that soft mode's bad. It just means it's my preference. That's all. Okay. Get back to the screen here. Let's see. Let's do a check on the likes. Where are we at likes right now? Let's see. We've had a consistent 30 plus people in the live stream, which is good for me. I mean, considering that I didn't really advertise this at all. We are showing 23 likes. 23 likes. If you have a second, hit that like button on the stream. It helps. It helps visibility. Oh, thanks, Larry. Thanks. Spartacus, thank you for helping to pimp the likes, Spartacus. If you already hit the thumbs up button, thank you. If you haven't, then please smash the like button to like the stream and subscribe. I know the last stream there was talk about when you're watching this on a mobile device in the YouTube app, it's a little confusing how to like the stream. And I guess basically what people say, because I don't really do this myself, that you have to close the chat, close the live chat, and then you're able to like the stream, evidently. Like you can't have the chat open and like the stream at the same time, which is kind of weird. It's kind of weird. In regard to shipping costs, Shipping from China is now 20 to 30% of what it used to be during COVID. Well, that sounds good, right? Devo says the rocket only weighs 7 pounds more battery and 168 volts. 7 pounds more than an Arrow. So what? It's like 62 or 63 pounds. Okay. Let's see. Let's look on the eWheel site and see what they have about the Arrow. Or I'm sorry, about the rocket. What do you think about the Begode A1? Like, what's the point of that? I mean, Begode has way too many small wheels. It's stupid. I don't know what their deal is. I can understand having a small wheel, but they have like half a dozen of them. It's really strange. Okay, okay, let's bring this up. The rocket, 62 pounds, 15 inches. The Arrow is officially listed as a 14-inch wheel. $2,500. Yeah, so I mean, you just keep pushing the price up. $2,500. Let's see, C40 motor, which is like the it's interesting. It's a C40 motor in a small wheel like that. The C40 motor is what was in the EX30. That has the mid-mount suspension, which I'm a fan of. The 1,500 watt hours, whereas the Arrow is 1,100, I believe. Yeah. 5 amp charger. Yeah, I mean, spec wise is nice. That's a tubeless tire. Okay, that's cool. V9 has a tubeless tire. Arrow, I don't think is a tubeless tire. I don't believe so. The KingSong F22 is not a tubeless tire. I'm hoping that the rim is tubeless compatible. I guess I'll figure that out if I wind up changing the tire. The cruising speed 43 plus. Yeah, so it's like a 70 kilometer an hour wheel plus, and a range of 40 to 45 miles. Yeah, I mean it's a fast, small wheel. Probably has lots of torque. Here talking about the key differences between A2 Falcon and Arrow. The key draw of the rocket is the very high top speed. I'm not sure what the listed top speed is on an Arrow. That's a spec I did not pay attention to. Such speeds are difficult to maintain or achieve on smaller diameter wheels. The majority of riders will be hard-pressed to exceed this wheel speed capabilities, which is itself a safety feature. Okay. Yeah, I don't care about any of that other stuff. So yeah, I mean the Arrow is going to be a nice wheel. It's not cheap, but it is small. It just is what I mean. The V9 for me is just something that just makes it so convenient to just grab and go on a short trip to like I grab food at Wawa on a consistent basis. So the V9 is something that's really perfect for doing a quick little run like that. It just is. Let's remove you. All right. Let's see. Leo says Vietnam produces good electric cars. Really? Oh, wow. Well, the U.S. market pretty much blocks out a lot of electric vehicles from other countries, if you haven't noticed. You probably already know, Leo, but China makes some incredible electric vehicles. Really, really good. And they are not sold in the U.S. And there's a reason that they're not sold in the U.S. because they would blow a lot of current electric manufacturers, domestic ones, out of the water because they are really good. Dale hit the like half hour before it started. Really, Dale? Wow, that's amazing. Sean Wellsby, have I seen you in a live stream before, Sean? I'm not quite sure. Love my S22, but it had a lot of problems. Do you think the F18 is going to be as problematic, or have they ironed everything out over time? Well, The F22, another thing about the F22 is it uses a Raptor style control board, which was made famous by the V13, right? The V13, I think, was the first one to use a Raptor. Or was it the V12? I think the V13 was the first one to use a Raptor control board. So, and I have not heard of the people that have had early F22s. I've not heard of them having any notable issues. With the S22, they had a shitload of issues, right? They had this. God, I don't know if I can even list them all. It had the suspension system that originally was just metal channels with that the suspension was sliding up and down on. That got clogged with dirt and would basically stick. And then the community came up with its own fix by affixing roller wheels to that suspension, which was better, but they still could stick and get dirty. And then KingSong themselves, with like the S22 Pro, they said, "Oh, okay, well, I guess we'll do the same thing," and they made that the stock configuration wheels on that slider system, but it was never good. And then the S16 used it, the S19 used that same setup. So I think, and everyone that I've talked to, like Jayton Alexander, who I got my V13 from on a barter deal, he just got an F22 Pro. He loves the thing. He loves it. Said the suspension feels great. He has had nothing but good things to say about the F22 Pro so far. And it seems like that 4-corner suspension really feels good. And it also makes the wheel very rigid. One of the things that you've heard some people say that with the design of some wheels, the Lynx got a lot of blowback about this, is that there's a lot of flex with the way that those wheels were designed. With the F22 Pro, I've heard from multiple people that it feels very, very tight, very, very rigid. On the screen is like really whiting my face out. Wow, what the hell? Okay, it makes it a little bit better. So yeah, it's supposed to be a very solid construction. So I'm hoping that the F22 is good. I took a little bit of a risk getting one early in the production cycle, but we'll see. We'll see. At least my initial QC impressions of what I saw seem good. Seems good. Devo just posted the stream on the Facebook group. Oh, thanks, man. I mean, I posted a link to the electric unicycle forum group on Facebook and the unbiased group as well. That's what I typically do. So, Scampster, what's up, man? Scampster, just what did you buy? You said you bought an H2D, right? The Bamboo Lab H2D, Scampster. Didn't you say you just got that? Or was it an X1C? It was an H2D, I think. Scampster is a fellow EUC enthusiast and a channel member. Thank you, Scampster. Larry, yeah, the arrows to bliss. Yeah, okay, I did actually. Yeah, you. I'm sorry, Larry, you are right. I did read that somewhere. F22 is not, just an oversight in my opinion. Devo, I don't plan on hitting 40 miles an hour on the rocket, but I like the headroom. Yeah, well, and that's why I am too. I like headroom. That's one of the reasons with the V9 that I have decided to not push up to 28 miles an hour, because I like headroom. I don't know, just me. Or I should say more accurately, I like not falling. I like wheels not cutting out. So that's why I don't like to go right against that ceiling. Larry, I had the Falcon, felt rickety. Hopefully the Arrow is smoother. Yeah, I kind of had that same impression. The Falcon, certain people like love the Falcon. Like Marty says, the Falcon was so good, and he said it had great build quality and all that kind of stuff. I thought, I don't know. I just was never impressed by the Falcon. I thought it looked dated right from the get-go. The requirement to, if you wanted to adjust the suspension, which there wasn't much adjustment anyways, but if you wanted to adjust the suspension, you had to take the top cover, or you have to take the top cover off to do so. That's kind of ridiculous. Trolley handle sucks. So yeah, never been a big Falcon fan. Okay, so Diva says the Arrow will hit 34 maxed out. Okay. Well, to me, that's way faster than I would want to go on a wheel that size anyway. So 14-inch wheel. That should be plenty for me. If you're interested, look up VinFast for the cars. Okay, I will, Leo. Not right now, but I will. If the Arrow is Falcon money, I might consider one. Well, the Arrow is a little bit more than Falcon money, right? So let's bring e-wheels back up here. I mean, of course, you could get it cheaper somewhere else, possibly, but let's just compare what e-wheels is saying. NOSFET Arrow, they currently have at $2,200. The Falcon, they've actually dropped the price to $1,650. So currently, the Arrow is more than $500 more than the Falcon. The Arrow has a bigger battery, a stronger motor, drastically improved visuals. I mean, the Arrow is a really good-looking wheel, in my opinion. So yeah, again, it's hard to compare because like some people like they don't even look at the price of a wheel. They're like, you know, I have plenty of money, I have money to burn. I just get what I want. And the truth is, these wheels are expensive to most people. This is a lot of money to spend on a hobby, right? So to some people that difference is going to make a significant impact. Some people it won't, but more people than not care what something costs, I would say. So yeah, the Extreme Bull Rocket costs almost double what a V9 does. Almost. If you can't tell, I'm a big V9 fan, and not because Inmotion sent me one. I think for its intended use, it does a really good job of hitting all the marks that it should hit, to me. Ryan, congrats! Oh, another AI action figure. That's been the new thing. Like first it was having AI turn your like a picture of you riding into a cartoon. Everybody was doing that, and then like 2 weeks later, people are going into ChatGPT and now having AI turn them into like a toy action figure. And I see Ryan has done that. I have not. And I don't know that I will. Scamster, okay. Oh, so you already have the X1C, okay, and you pre-ordered an H2D. Yeah, congrats, man. I'm getting an itchy trigger finger. I'm like, I don't know if it's this way for you, Scamster. In the U.S., Bamboo is doing something strange with the H2Ds, at least compared to what they used to do. When I bought my A1, like my first A1, I only have one A1, but when I bought my A1, they weren't in stock. So I bought it and paid for it. And when I bought it said, okay, well, these are supposed to be available at this time. And then, you know, you pay for it ahead of time and they're going to send it to you. With the H2D, they're almost like taking a concert ticket approach. like you only are able to order at a specific time. Like there's an initial batch that you like at, you know, say 8 a.m. on this date, you could order until there were no more. Then you couldn't order anymore. Like right now, you cannot order an H2D. Instead, it says, okay, well, on April 22nd at 10 a.m., you can once again order. I don't understand what they're doing. I don't understand why they would do that. Why can't you just order the thing and then when they have more available, they send them to you? I don't understand why Bamboo is doing this because in the past they did not do this with their other printers. So because my one buddy at work, he wants an H2D and he missed the first window to do so. So he's hoping to be available and being in front of a computer at 10 a.m. on the 22nd to hopefully get one. But it's really strange why Bamboo is doing that. I'm sure there's a reason that they're doing it this way, but I don't really understand why. Dale says Marty is in love with Kabai. Of course he's going to say the Falcon is great. Yeah, he is kind of in love with them, right? Scamster, as much as the Falcon is an ugly wheel, it's my favorite wheel to ride over my S, L, and Lynx. Really? So you like riding the Falcon more than your S, L, or Lynx? Interesting. Okay. Well, I mean, it's a totally different. Yeah. I don't know. It's a totally different experience. Of course, it's not the same class wheel. So you just like the fact that it's small and light and. I mean, I guess I get it because I like riding my V9, but it's totally different. It's a totally different experience than riding a bigger, heavier, faster wheel. Devo, anyone excited about the C8? I like the design, but not a wheel for me. But good group ride wheel, real flashy. We talked about this in the last live stream, Devo. I don't think you were here. Yeah, the C8 is like a Nikola throwback with suspension, but it's an 84-volt wheel. Lots of speakers. I think it's supposed to have 8 speakers and lights that are very reminiscent of the Nikola. I thought it looked cool. But then the only thing I didn't like, and I think it's hydraulic suspension. So yeah, a lot of good things about that wheel, but it's only 84 volts. I think it has a 1500 watt hour battery, something like that. But the thing that was negative to me is it costs too much money. They want $2,500 for that thing. I thought it was overpriced. That was my thought. But it's cool. I mean, especially for someone like me that's been riding for 8 going on 9 years. Yeah, it's cool, but too much money, in my opinion. Compared with all the stuff that's out there. Larry says the reason eWheels cut the Falcon price is because they have stock on hand and don't have to add tariffs. Originally, eWheels had the Aero at $17.99 before tariffs. You're right. Yep. Dale says if I was going to get a wheel for flashy lights and speakers, I get the KS S19. Yeah, well, that definitely does have flashy light and speakers for days. That is true, Dale. And you can probably get one pretty cheap nowadays. Scamter, okay, I haven't seen the pricing until just now. I asked the Australian dealer this morning if they had pricing. No answer yet. Well, the pricing on an H2D, well, I think like in the United States, if you want to get an H2D with an AMS, which I don't know why you would buy an H2D without an AMS, I think it's $2,200 or $2,300, Scamster, I believe. Larry, continuing on the eWheels pricing, eWheels may raise prices again for wheels that aren't in-house. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess that would be consistent. Hold on. That would be consistent. Oh, did someone do a super chat? Wait, someone did. Hold on. I see it up there. I respond in the StreamYard interface, which I can't see this stuff. Blue Collar Jose. Oh, Blue Collar Jose with a super chat. Hey, Duff, have you heard anything on the V18? Maybe a V13 replacement. I saw the images of it on in Facebook somewhere today. I don't know any details other than what I saw there. It didn't really look. I thought the V18 is supposed to be like a high-end wheel, high performance suspension wheel, like I don't know, maybe akin to the F22 or the F18 or whatever. So no, I don't know anything beyond that. What you probably have already seen, Blue Collar Jose. But thank you very much for the super chat, considering you're already a channel member. But thank you. Devo says, how you feel about Begode is how I feel about KingSong. I used to have a much higher opinion of KingSong prior to the S22. The S22 is such a cluster F. It really soured my and a lot of people's feelings about the S22. Oh, that's the one thing I forgot to. Somebody asked me about the various problems with the S22. You have the system boards blowing. You have the terrible suspension. I don't know how I got off track. Well, I always get off track, but you have the stators. Remember the slipping stators in the S22? It had that as well. Had all kinds of crap wrong with it. Suspension parts breaking. And like I remember when the S22 came out, I mean, I was just like, oh my God, I gotta have this wheel. It's so amazing. And like many things in life, it did not live up to its expectations, right? So many things in life do not live up to their expectations. Let's see. Well, I just got lost here. Where am I? Oh, I forgot to put that on the screen or maybe I did. I don't know. So Scampster said, okay, in regards to what Bamboo is doing, it's the same here. They are releasing in batches so they can keep up with manufacturing. I guess to stop people from paying and waiting too long. I have to wait 5 weeks. I don't know. I don't know, dude. I think people would. I mean, this is my feeling that people would rather have their spot in line, right? They would rather have, even if it means that they're waiting several weeks, that they'd have their spot in line that they know they have in reserve. They don't have to sit there and camp on a website and hope that they click the buy now button quick enough to get one of that batch of printers. I don't know. I don't think that it's a really good strategy. Scampster says, I love the Falcon. It's a turn off your brain while riding wheel. The V9 is like that for me. PJ, I know you're not into highly detailed prints, but have you ever considered getting a resin printer? No. Resin printers to me seem like way too much hassle. You have to, too much hassle. You have to wash them and treat them. You got to dip them in the whatever that solution is after they print. No. It never, ever appealed to me at all, PJ. I never had the slightest desire to get a resin printer, especially since FDM printers are so good nowadays. I mean, really. I mean, what my Bamboo Lab A1 does, it's next level. I don't know why you need a resin printer, really. Scampster, you have two A1 minis and an A1? Really? Wow, dude. Okay. I mean, at the height of my 3D EUC stand store, which is still open at eucarmy.com. I actually sold 2 stands this week to some gentleman in Hawaii. But anyways, when I was really selling a ton of those stands, I had at one point 10 printers, I believe. Yeah, I think I had many as 10 printers printing parts. So now I have 1, 2, 3. I have 3 active in my office. Well, 3 plugged in. I have a Prusa Mini sitting on the shelf collecting dust. I have another Prusa Mini at work collecting dust, and I have a Creality. I don't even remember what the model is. I have that in my office as well, collecting dust, basically. I do still print stand parts on the Prusa, but almost everything else gets printed on the A1. It just does a better job. It does it faster, and it does multicolor in a very cool way. Devo, yeah, I have no idea why they went back to 84 volts. Yeah, well, yeah, they went back to 84 volts, but if you look at the performance specs, they seemed high for an 84 volt wheel. I don't know. Bottom line is the C8 is too much money for me. Spartacus says, W for the super chat. That's right, man. Oh, shit. Someone else did a super chat. Hold on. My UC Journey did a super chat with no additional commentary. Thank you, man. I just gave it a heart. I don't know what that means. But thank you, my UC Journey. Much appreciated. You guys are very generous. Scamster says, no, the pricing on the Arrow I'm talking about, I've already paid for the H2D. It costs $34.99 here. Ooh. Oh, you're talking about the Arrow? Oh, okay. Sorry. Gotcha. But this Bamboo Labs did the same thing though, where like you only had like the buy now button activated at a certain point. And if you miss that, then you're out of luck. Dale says KingSong used to make the best wheels. They dropped the ball and got better. Yeah, I would agree. My EUC journey. Duff, a high-end EUC is still way cheaper than a high-end mountain bike, north of 10K. Are you talking about an electric mountain bike, electric assist mountain bike, or just a regular mountain bike? North of 10K. Oh my goodness. I'm looking forward to EUCs built with top quality in mind, regardless of price, like German luxury automobile. I don't know, really. I don't know, because to me, an EUC is just too susceptible to damage. Like paying $5,000 for a Panther to me is crazy. Unforeseen circumstances happen, and Panther runs into a solid object and explodes. That's kind of, I don't know. I think your ass is hanging out in the wind too much to want to spend like $10,000 on an EUC. At least for me. I mean, some people maybe not, but for me, yes. Scamster, resin is a waste of time unless you're like doing figurines. Yeah, I've seen people do figurines, like small stuff with detail. I don't do that, but again, my A1 does detail really well. I mean, it does to me. Scamster, I might buy one of your stands. Well, I have sent stands to Australia before. Dale, I sent you a stand, right, Dale? And then you say like your roommate stole it or something, or I don't remember. The thing about sending to Australia is it's prohibitively expensive, or at least it was. I mean, I haven't looked in a long time. But basically with people in other countries, because I have shipped stands all over the world, really, all over the world. But basically, I just go in and you give me your address, and then I get an estimate of what it costs, and whatever it costs me is what I charge you for shipping. But Australia is expensive. At least it always was super expensive to send there. Blue Collar Jose ordered an Eligo. I don't know how you pronounce that. Eligo Century Carbon as pre-order, shipping by May 30th. I've heard of that printer. Isn't that basically? It's just like it's an X1C knockoff, isn't it? More or less. Shipping by May 30th. Oh my god. I can't really do pre-orders. I'm way too impatient. Well, that's one of the things I complained about with the F22 is I don't like that I had to wait so long to get it. That used to be the status quo for a lot of wheels. You had to wait forever to get one. I don't like doing that, and I didn't expect to do that, because when I ordered this, supposedly they were going to come. They were going to be in alien rights possession mid-February, and instead they were in their possession April. So I don't really want to wait, especially something that expensive when you're laying out that kind of money. I don't really want to wait that long. Devo, 40 people watching. Hit that like button. Amen, Devo. Amen. So will one of your stands work for V10F? Yeah. The short answer is yes, PJ. It will. Works for a lot of wheels. It doesn't work. It works for most wheels. It doesn't work for a V13, for example, because V13 with a 22-inch tire, it's too tall. Works with all the veteran wheels. It should work with the, I'll test it. It should work with the KingSong F22 Pro, I believe, from what I can see. Yeah, I think it'll work fine with the F22 Pro. So it works for the vast majority of wheels. Scamster said the buy now button here in Australia lasted over a week. Really? I don't know that it lasted more than a couple hours in the United States, from what I understand. Delroy says the S22 Pro is the first wheel that you owned. You love this so much, you got the F22, and I'm loving that even more. Riding as I'm listening to you live. Great, dude. Every person that has put out content about the F22 Pro has had overwhelmingly positive things to say. The only one that had a negative spin was this TEP guy who said like F22 Pro, not for me, or whatever. And it all tied into that the top speed wasn't what he thought he should get. And I'm trying to think. I think he didn't like that it was wide either, but he was a short guy too. So again, I could see shorter people struggling maybe a little bit getting around a 9-inch wide wheel. But that's the exception from what I understand. Scamster says, I agree. The ruggedness of current EUCs is where they should stay. No point in a highly polished EUC looks wise. Yeah, I would kind of agree. I mean, the arrow looks kind of polished, right? But hopefully it's rugged in its construction. Yes, Dale had his stand and some dickhead he was living with stole a bunch of random things. Yeah, I remember the story. Scamster lives in postcode 2902. Let's see if I can multitask here. Oh wow, Aaron Doria just started a live video, by the way, on Instagram. I think it's gonna want like a province or whatever, Scamster. I don't know that a zip code is enough for me to get an estimate, but let me just see. Australia. I use stamps.com to do my shipping, by the way. All right. We're shipping to Joe Blow. We don't care. It's going to be 2 pounds. What's the city? All right, postal code, what'd you say? 2902. 123 Street. Let's see. What city should I say? Canberra. Okay. All right. So I send it through the postal service. 2 days. Package then, yeah, like $39. Yeah, $39 to ship approximately to that zip code. $39 just for shipping. Just for reference sake, I sell those stands for $39. So it basically costs as much as the stand costs just to ship it. So, but I've had people do it. So yeah, if you're interested, we can talk about it. Oh, the Eligo Blue Collar Jose. It's like a Temu X1C. Okay. Well, I bought stuff on Temu. Ryan, is it normal for a stand to start separating? Looks like threads where it's happening. It depends. It depends. One of my stands, you mean? Or another stand? It depends. It all depends. The way that 3D prints are, which you probably know, Ryan, but you have a solid shell, which is variable as far as how thick the shell is on the top and the bottom and the edges, and then inside they have infill, and there's different types of infill. There's different density of infill, so there's lots of variables there. But if you're talking about one of my stands, Ryan, you should let me know, and I would take care of you. Ryan says, I hear there's big discounts to use pirate shipping. Pirate shipping. I don't know what that is. Pirate shipping. It sounds very legitimate. Talking about Canberra. All right. These Australians talking about Canberra. PJ, resin printing is good for high details. That's why most people that do modeling use them. Yeah, I guess. I mean, people that are into selling 3D prints. All right, let's see how this looks now. I'm curious. Now that it's dark, it's now dark outside here in Florida. It was not when I started. %91 battery. I assume that Alien Rides must have charged this thing a little bit. KingSong. I want to see if I can turn off that. I don't the automatic power down. I don't know that I like that. Although I know my old KingSong. I think all the KingSongs usually have that. But it'd be nice if I could turn that off. Let's see. Can I? What? Yeah, I'm not seeing where I do that. Oh, I can change my lights in the back. Evidently, okay. I guess I shouldn't be just finagling in the app right now. That will be all stuff that I cover in the videos, I guess. 125 AU shipped. What are we talking about? Are we talking about printers? What are we talking about there, Scamster? Spartacus, always one of my best live stream promoters. Enjoying the stream? Smash the like button. It's free and will help bring more people to the party. Let's go. Like and subscribe. Well, it also helps YouTube promote the stream, like the replays later down the line. Because I get so many people that actually watch the stream live, but I can get the same amount, if not more, that watch it on replay. So, they all count the same. Okay, so it's called Canberra, not Canberra. Canberra. Okay, Canberra. Okay, got it. Blue collar Jose. Elsa is over here playing on her dog bed. She just opened her eyes when she heard her name. Elsa turned 10 recently, and Elsa has developed a naughty streak recently. It's weird. It's weird for a dog, at least to me, it's weird for a dog to develop naughty behavior as they get older, but Elsa has been doing that. She's taken an affinity to, like, I have to now hide the toilet paper rolls before I go to work, because she started to grab them and then run throughout the house with the toilet paper rolls, and then she would eat some of the toilet paper as well. So every morning before I go to work, I have to hide the toilet paper rolls, and then she started to pick stuff out of the trash can, which she never did before, and chew it up. So now the trash can goes out in the garage before I leave. And she has an affinity for eating the appendages off of her toys. She's doing that more and more often. Like if a toy has a hand or an ear or an arm, she chews it off and eats it and swallows it, and then I see that come out later. And her most recent thing is she took a pair of my underwear out of the laundry basket, brought it into my office, and chewed it up for some reason. So now the laundry basket has to be hidden before I go to work as well. So, but yeah, she's right here. Of course, I still love her, but she has been a naughty quite a bit in the recent months. Scamster says, speaking of writing, I might charge the links. There you go. Cool. UC I can, brah. Okay, I'm out. Nice chat. Okay, buddy. Thanks for stopping in. First time I've ever seen you in here. Hopefully I see you again. Simon says, you don't think you can turn off the auto power down? Okay. I don't see it in the app, but it's odd though, right? It's odd that you can't configure it at least. You would think you could configure it at the very least, but I don't see it. Interesting. So scamps are 125 for your stand shipped. What do you mean? What, the cost of the stand and the shipping? No, well, I mean, what I'm seeing is less than that, Scamster. But it's still kind of crazy. PJ says, did you get the video I sent you on Facebook of the guy that taught his dog to ride a one wheel? Pretty funny. The dog can actually steer the thing and chase squirrels. Too fun. Yeah, I've seen that dog and others, actually. There's a number of dogs that I don't know how people train their dogs to do it, but that they can ride a one wheel. Well, I've seen dogs that ride skateboards. I saw a video of some dog riding a skateboard down a huge set of stairs. Huge set. I couldn't believe it. So yeah, evidently dogs can ride these kind of things. Elsa cannot. Definitely not. Elsa is precious. Yes, she is. She is. She's neurotic, but she's precious. She is. Talking about Canberra. People who give Canberra crap usually have never lived there. It has hidden depths that aren't always apparent to visitors. Well, I'll take your word for it. All right, I have a few more sips in the Cayman Jack, and I think I'm going to shut it down because it is Thursday night. And what most people really care about is how the F22 Pro is when riding. What is this? My brother's sending me a text. Okay. So what else? Let's see. Checklist in the F22 Pro. Things that I care about with the F22 Pro. Probably number one is, how does this suspension feel? I wonder if there's a guideline on here. Because like the one thing about the V9 was the guidelines in the manual for these recommended suspension pressures was way off, in my opinion. When I set it to what they recommended for my weight, it felt really not good. Hard. Not good at all. Maybe I'll read this in bed here. I'm just looking to see if it has a recommendation for the shocks. It does not. Oh, it does. Okay, it does. I lie. Okay, so for my weight, I'm about my riding weight is probably 85 to 90 kilograms. It recommends an air pressure of 150 to 200 psi. That's a pretty big range. Based on my prior experiences, I'm going to probably go on the low end of that. I'll start at 150 and see how that feels. But not tonight. I won't be doing that tonight. KingSong, Begode is pretty infamous for having pretty shitty manuals. KingSong is usually pretty good with the manuals. One thing about this wheel that is interesting too, it has a Type-C, a USB-A, and an XT60 port, which is right above. It's right above the headlight. It's right there. I'm very curious what the XT60 port is for, but it is nice that it has those USB ports as well. If you needed to charge a device on the road, you could do that. So I'm curious about one more thing. Just hold on 1 second. Okay, I was curious if there was still a Bluetooth module in the F22 to connect to, but it doesn't seem like there is because my phone does not see one. So okay, and if you tuned in late, I have the model, the F22 Pro, that has the RGB lights instead of the big speakers in the back. That is one slight negative that people had said, because when they were riding, It was natural for like a lot of dirt and water and shit to get up into where those speakers are, where the speakers would be. I have these RGB lights that are all not visible with the camera, but supposedly there's all kinds of tweaks and changes you can do to those RGB lights, and I will mess around with that as well as I explore the wheel. What are we doing here? Oh, okay. Scamster was doing an Australian dollar conversion on the stand. Gotcha. Yes, Dale, I will pump my shocks. I promise. PJ's heading out. All right, man. I'm going to be heading out too shortly. My UC Journey says, I believe there's a strong demand for high quality products. People are willing to pay the price if you get what you pay for. This is the argument for Libra Kim. The L is almost $5K with taxes. I don't know. It'd be interesting if we had hard sale numbers, right? Like how many people buy the premium EUCs that cost $5,000, $4,500 in number versus the lower end, like a Inmotion V8S or a V10F or a V9. I don't know. I don't know. I can't verify or disagree with that without more data. Scamster is going to do, people told him how to do this. How do you tag someone in chat? And you just do the @ sign and then you start typing their name. And YouTube will do the rest. That's correct. Yes. Scamster says the L costs $6,700 Canadian. I guess the exchange rate with Australian dollars to US dollars is not good. I guess I don't know. Yeah, Dale. I assume we were talking about Australian dollars. All right, I'm chugging. Okay. All right. I have reached the end of my Cayman Jack. I'm going to go shove the big, huge F22 box in the garage. I'm going to fold my laundry, and then I'm going to probably start settling down for the evening because it is a Thursday night. I do have to go to work tomorrow. But I do thank anyone that tuned in tonight to share my opening experience with the F22 Pro. My initial impressions of what I'm seeing, the QC, seem fine, seem good, seem high quality. Just a matter of how it rides, right? And digging into the various features of the wheel, and I will give you my honest feedback on that as time allows, probably starting this weekend. So, all right. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I will talk to you again sooner. Before you check out, hit that like button if you haven't already. But otherwise, till next time. Where's the camera? Oh, it's up there. Till next time, Duffman out. Let's see. End the stream.